And as always, we get the morning started with a little bit of Gregory Porter. That was Lonesome Lover from Liquid Spirit, fabulous album. Today we have, for business to business, our digital marketing specialists are going to come in and have a bit of a chat to us. I've been really looking forward to this one because we have three panelists on today. We have Carolyn Ferrando, who is our digital marketing, or marketing actually, coordinator for the Chamber of Commerce. And she's joined by Chantel and Deb, but I'll let her introduce them. But for now, this is a series. So this is the Business to Business webinar series. And we decided to put this together because we produced the book, and it seemed to us that it made a lot of sense just to roll through the various chapters of the book. So we've got we've already had cash flow. That was last week with Pat, and that video should be up online. We've also had the why of business with myself and Eric Guthrie. We've still got, as you'll see there, we've got branding, digital marketing today, culture with Robert Gutierrez, franchising, home-based businesses. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I think next week is actually isolation in business with Jackie Thompson. So a really topical one, that one. So that should be really good. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to throw to Carolyn, and Carolyn will bring in her panelists. And Carolyn, are you there?
I am here.
Fabulous. I will throw over to you.
Thank you, Stu. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Well, welcome everyone. Oh, fantastic. So welcome everyone to the digital marketing webinar hosted by the Logan Chamber of Commerce. I was really racking my brains to think about what is going to be the best way to present the most quality and efficient information to all of our attendees. And I thought, what better way than by putting together a brains trust. So I've reached out to two other amazing social media managers, and they are definitely leaders in their field. And this morning we've got Chantel Gerrity, who is actually the Facebook strategist, and we have Deb Perkis, who is the social media angel. So they're going to be talking about their different aspects of social media. Chantel's going to be talking about Facebook, and Deb's going to be covering Instagram, and then I'll be touching on LinkedIn. So I'm going to throw over to Chantel now. Chantel, to get this party started. All yours, Chantel.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for showing up. That's half the problem, is just getting people to show up. So you're in the right place this morning, and this is super, super cool and amazing. I had a look, because I'm a big stalker and I encourage stalking. I had a look at some of the names, and a lot of new names there for me. So that is really, really cool. So I am going to screen share. Host has disabled screen sharing. So maybe I'm not screen sharing.
Yeah, you will be in just a wee moment.
Cool, excellent, thank you. And what I'll do is I will screen share so that I can stay on task as well. And if you have your mobile phones, you can also then take a screenshot, if you like, of it so that you have that. But I will also have a whole bunch of downloads available for you at the end of today as well. Let's try that again. Awesome, here we go. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I'm a Facebook strategist. So everyone's going, what does that mean? I'll show you. But what I'm really passionate about is helping people to get fast and free results. So I'm going to go through this really, really quickly. But basically, I was self-taught out of necessity when I moved from South Africa to the Gold Coast. And my husband at the time lost his job. And I taught myself Facebook, and I built my business around having 3 small children under the age of 5. I have then gone on to get my social media marketing diploma, but I'm so incredibly passionate about helping business owners be able to do it themselves successfully, because many business owners don't have a marketing budget, don't have startup capital, and really just need to learn themselves how to use Facebook to get clients, create opportunities, and to grow their business. So, I mean, yep, I want to get into the juicy stuff, but that's basically me. So firstly, why Facebook? Did you know 93% of small businesses prefer Facebook? 67% of marketers find Facebook to be their most important social media channel. 43% of business-to-business marketers also named Facebook as their most important advertising channel, passing LinkedIn. So I included that one today because I know there's a lot of B2B here. There are 2.8 billion monthly active users on Facebook. So that means I'm sure your clients are on there. There are over 60 million active business pages, but only 6 million do paid advertising. The average click-through rate is only 0.9%, which is really good to note, which means people are getting results, and many are getting results by not actually paying for advertising. People access Facebook about 8 times each day. So if that's you, put your hand up. If you, not that I can see your hands, but put your hands up or put a comment in the box below. You know, how many times per day would you say that you check Facebook? 51% of millennials can't go 5 hours without checking Facebook. That's a pretty cool stat. Facebook users make 2 billion searches every month. And this is super important to note because Facebook is a search engine. People are actually going on just like Google, just like YouTube, and people are searching for services, and they're searching for help, and they're searching for you. 500 million Facebook users are using the platform to watch videos every day. So that's the importance of videos in your marketing. And Facebook use is up by 70% at the moment due to COVID. And I'm sure you can guess why. The good news about that, with the 70% use up at the moment, is that a lot of people are on Facebook searching for your services, but there's also a lot more businesses on there doing it. And what I like to say is those who understand how Facebook works and how to use it properly are going to get the client over those who don't. So this is Facebook World for you. Basically, you're allowed one Facebook personal profile, and it is private. It's one Facebook profile with one email, and it is a private account. You can have 5,000 friends. There's an opportunity there for you to have a bio. You can put your contact details in there. You can also decide if you want them to be public or private. You can put all your business details in your personal profile, meaning that if somebody stalked you, that have access to your business page. All your digital links can be put in there. Featured photos, you can have up to 9. Your relationship status, in case you're actually on Facebook looking. Your location, however, I do recommend that you do not make your home address public. You can put your family members in there too, and this is another one that I don't like by Facebook, and I actually recommend that you remove your family members from there in case you get trolling. You can put live events in there. You can also check in. There's an opportunity to run private events. It's heavily defined by your privacy settings, so each aspect you can actually decide who sees what. So you can have a public-private profile. You can tag people or set up your tagging settings to see if you want to be tagged. You can also message people. There's Facebook Story, which is Facebook's take on Snapchat. You can have profile preferences, so you can decide how you want to run that profile. You can include your favorite quotes, details about you, which is a great opportunity to share your story in, your birthday, so people can wish you on the day. All right, so that's your personal profile. Now, this is your business page. Your business page is public, 100% public. You can block people from it, but it is public unless you ban them. Now, the difference with a business page is that you have unlimited amount, and they are called fans. There's an opportunity for people to review your services, which is really cool because people will choose you over someone else based on your reviews. You can also hide your reviews, which is a recent new feature by Facebook. There's a click to contact button, meaning that's a call to action button. Now, the message button is already there, so you can choose another one, whether or not you want to take them to a phone call, to book a call with you, or to take them to your landing page on your website. But there is a click to contact button, which a lot of business owners, in fact, don't set up. Your physical address, once again, please do not put in your home address. Page story, which is, again, like Snapchat's version. And the reason Facebook did that was because they tried to buy Snapchat, and Snapchat said no. So they created stories, which is basically ephemeral content which sits on your personal profile or business page. And instead of people scrolling through Facebook, they can watch it. And they can also do those fun little stickers. And it does expire within 24 hours, although Facebook's looking at extending that to 3 days. Now, the reason they did that is because they were trying to get a younger demographic onto Facebook, and it has worked. It's governed by a response rate. So the more active and the more quicker you respond, the higher you come up in the searches. You do have 3 search categories, so it's important that you put the right ones in there. You have an opportunity to put your story in there, which is really important because Facebook is all about genuine, meaningful relationships, and you telling your story is part of that. You can run events on there. You can set up services, shop, or both. There's also an opportunity for you to display your offers. There's a community feature, meaning that if people are tagging you in events, it'll take all that content and put it together in a community tab, which gives you social proof and credibility. You can also link to all your groups. There's an inbox, so it's different to your messenger. So a lot of people don't actually check their page's inbox. Messaging response, meaning that you don't actually have to get an auto response system or a messenger bot. You can use Facebook's own inbuilt system to set up automatic responses. And you can have other people on your page who have page roles and administration duties, whereas your personal profile is only you can run that. And of course, you can do paid advertising and boosts. You can also tag your page or be tagged. And there's also a jobs feature on there. So if you're looking for people to employ, you can use the jobs feature on your page. And you can use their publishing tool, meaning that you do not have to use third-party sources to schedule content. You can actually go in and publish it within Facebook. And then, of course, you've got your groups. Now, groups are set up by people on Facebook. Anyone who has a personal profile can set up a group. You can make it public, closed, or secret. And these people inside the groups are called members. There's also a description of how they wish to run the group, which is important to read. There's rules and etiquette, which is defined by the group. There's also categories, administrative roles as well. You can also run events inside there. And what's really cool is that you can set up files or units within there. So you can actually run programs or take people through a series or a course. And you can also schedule inside there, and you can direct message people. Tagging people too. So the groups now have their own algorithm, meaning in the olden days, which was like a year ago, you could just talk inside a group and you get a notification. But now, unless you opt to see those notifications first, or unless somebody actually tags you in those groups, you may miss those notifications. And top fan badges, which is a really cool new feature, which is encouraging people to engage more in your groups and on your business pages, and you can actually reward them. So at the end of each week, it'll say these are your top fans, which is really great. But wait, there's more, because Facebook has not been sleeping during COVID. In fact, they have been very, very busy. Watch Party, that's a bit of an older one, where you can actually watch your previous live videos together with members, so you can repurpose them and reuse them. There's Facebook Stories, as I said, which they now are looking at extending that for 3 days instead of expiring within 24 hours. There is Workplace, which allows, it's kind of like a communication tool that businesses can use, where they can have chats and video calls and broadcasts within it. There's also Marketplace, which is their take on Gumtree or eBay, and the Messenger Kids feature, which you can actually message your kids without them actually opening up a Facebook account. And there's really cool little stickers and quite a lot of privacy settings. So you can decide that no one else messages them, only, say, for example, your family, which is what we've got. We've set ours up so only our family can message each other. But again, it's their take on trying to get a younger demographic onto Facebook. Messenger Rooms, so you would have seen people popping up with rooms, but this is their take on Zoom. So therefore, Zoom event, we may not even have to pay for Zoom. We could just put people into a room and have up to 50 people in a room and still screen share and hold a meeting without actually paying for it. And they've just released Facebook Shops, which is their take on Amazon. So they're taking on Amazon and virtual dating. So with COVID, a lot of people not being able to do physical in-person dating. So they are now putting together a virtual dates in Facebook Messenger. So that's like an absolute wow. So just going to have a look here, just see if there's any chat. So these are the fundamentals. So I talk about the fundamentals of Facebook, and without doing these, I 100%, let's have a look. Cool. I 100% believe that unless you do these 8 things before you even go onto Facebook, you will fail. So number 1 is know who you are and how you want to be seen on Facebook. So how public or private do you actually want to be, so that we can set up your privacy settings so that you feel safe and confident using the platform. Number 2 is you have to know who your ideal client is and intimately. So it's not a case of being general or fluffy or trying to talk to everyone on Facebook. It's super important that you talk directly and specifically to the person who's best going to benefit from what it is that you're offering. Because when we try to catch everyone, we actually catch no one. Because it's very social and because people are scrolling the whole time, you have to be very, very clear on who that person is, and you literally have to call them in your content. Number 3 is stalk your competitors. So, for example, if you're a hairdressing salon in Townsville, you're going to go in and you're going to stalk all the other hairdressing salons in Townsville, and then you're going to work out how you're going to differentiate yourself from that business. You're going to have a look at their reviews, you're going to look at their content, you're going to look at their branding and their colors, and then you're going to work out how you're going to bring your points of difference and unique selling points to the forefront. Number 4 is branding consistency. So you want to make sure that you're set up to go, that your graphics are consistent across all your platforms, as well as your colors are consistent, your fonts are consistent. But what I like to say is that it's super important that your key messaging, meaning the words that are coming out your mouth, are consistent. So if for example, like I'm a Facebook strategist and I empower business owners with the skills and strategy to successfully manage their own profiles, that's like a tagline, and I'm always using that tagline so that you become known for that one thing. And then you have a strategy, so an actual strategy of what you're hoping to achieve, which is money. It should be money at the end of it. So whatever that monetary value is at the end, however much money you want to be making at the end of it, work backwards from that and go, what is the offer? How many of those do I need to sell? What type of programs or packages can I put together? How am I going to attract those people? And then work on an action plan to achieve that result. A lot of people don't focus on that actual having a strategy. They just go and they start from the other way and they just spit all over Facebook and hope something's going to work. You actually have to work backwards, forwards. And then the R and R's, which is not rest and relaxation. It's review and respond, meaning that each week you should be going on and reviewing your results. Look at what worked, what didn't work, and how you can tweak things or improve on things to get a better result. And a better result is not just engagement, it is actual genuine inquiries and prospects. So for example, if you're getting a whole bunch of time wasters coming in, chances are that you are either your messaging is incorrect, you're not putting the right content on, which is attracting the wrong people, or you're putting it in front of the wrong people. You're actually putting it in front of time wasters who are not prepared to pay for your services. So you need to review what you're doing so that you can make changes. And the next one is respond. So many people go and they post on Facebook or they go and engage on Facebook. And then when people actually reply or ask a question or make a comment, you downright ignore them, which you can imagine if you were on a date with someone and you're having a conversation and they were asking you questions and you ignored them, you probably wouldn't get a second date. So a couple of the other R's that I love to throw in there is, build genuine relationships, know how to give and to get recommendations, which is basically Facebook reviews. So you would have noticed the change in the name. And you want to make sure that you know how to maintain a good reputation online so that if something happened, that you have a crisis plan in place. And then number 7 is get them the hell of social media as quickly as possible. So the more you keep on there and the more you keep giving value and the more you keep talking to them and giving more value and answering more questions, the more likely they are to actually take advantage of you. So what you need to do is have clear call to actions of what the next step is that you want them to take so that you can get them off social media. So we want to either get them onto our website, we want to either build our list, get them onto a phone call, or get them to buy something. But if you keep them on there, they actually become colder. And number 8 is have a professional profile because everybody stalks. So if you are out on social media and you are posting, people are going to stalk not just your business page, they will stalk your personal profile as well. And that's why it is super important that your personal profile has been set up properly and that you fully understand what is public and what is private on there. the A word, the algorithm. Everyone freaks out about the algorithm, but I love the algorithm because if you know how it works and you understand it, it's quite easy to outsmart it. So the algorithm is a prediction. So basically, if you are inputting the right data into Facebook, so if you set up your personal profile and business page correctly and you engage in the right things and you put the right content on your Facebook page and you're clear on who your audience is, well, the algorithm will actually predict that you are into this and your ideal clients are into this. They are talking about the same thing. They're showing interest in the same thing. So we'll actually match you and we'll bring you together, which is really, really cool. So I say it's like plenty of fish. And it'll actually make it, it'll actually start putting you in front of each other, in front of each other's. No, do you want me to finish? Because I can finish if you want me to.
How much more have you got to go? Because we try and keep these to 30 minutes. We're 24 minutes in.
Okay, no worries. I'll do another 5 minutes then. That's fine. Thank you. Yeah, so basically how the algorithm works is that it'll actually predict you and it'll put you in front of each other, which is really, really cool. So basically you just want to make sure that you've set up everything, you're showing interest in the right things, engaging in the right things, you're creating the right content, and then it will actually start matching you and putting you in front of your ideal client, which is how the algorithm basically works. So the 3 myths is that you have to spend, the 3 myths that I debunk all the time is people say that they're not spending money on Facebook, and that's not true. The right person will buy the right offer presented the right way. Okay, the right person will buy the right offer presented the right way. That's super important because you get one of those aspects wrong, and yes, 100%, it will not work on Facebook. Number 2 is you do not have to spend hours and hours online doing every single thing to get a client. If you know what to do and you have a strategy, you really just have to get up every day and implement that strategy, which should take you no more than 20 minutes a day. And then your last one is you do not have to gamble your hard-earned money away on ads or outsourcing to get clients. You, the business owner, can do it yourself if you just learn how.
All right, I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah, no worries.
There's going to be a bunch of stuff, but we've got to get, in the 30 minutes, we've got to get to Deb and back to Carolyn. So.
Oh, sorry, I thought we each had that.
No dramas at all. What we'll do, I will throw back to Carolyn and Chantel. There's some incredible information, and we're getting some questions. So hang around. I'll put the questions through to you once I get through through Deb. And sure. Would you be okay to share those slides with? I mean, the recording will be up live, but I know that there were some more slides that you were going to go through. Would you be okay with sharing those
yes.
slides?
Yep, 100%. We'll put it on our YouTube channel and then send out a link.
That's fabulous. All right. Well, listen, I will throw back to Carolyn. And I have seen some questions come in. Keep putting them in the Q&A or in the chat. So I'm keeping a track of both. And I will throw back to Carolyn, who will pass around.
Fantastic. Thanks, Stu. Thank you so much, Chantel. I actually learned a lot from that, and a lot of it I knew, but there was some really great information in there. And I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to share that. I'd just like to throw now to Deb. She is from the company Social Media Angel, and she's going to start exploring all things Instagram and how you can optimize Instagram for your business and use it as a cohesive part of your marketing strategy. So Deb, the floor is all yours. Sorry, Deb, are you there?
All right, you there, Deb?
Hello, Deb, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm just trying to share my screen now. I'm having some trouble. So I might just talk to you guys if that's all right. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay, all right. So Instagram, one of my favorite social media channels to play around on. So a little bit of history first, created by Kevin Systrom and Mike Krieger back in the earliest days, although a newer platform than Facebook is, began development as Verban, a mobile check-in app, which was very similar to Foursquare. So they decided to refocus on creating a photo sharing app, renamed it Instagram, obviously, which were a combination instant camera and Telegram. That's where they got the name from. In 2010, in March, they spent $500,000 seed funding to acquire the app. And at that time, the app is still named Bourbon. In July 16th, 2020, Krieger posted his first photo of South Beach at Pier 838. And on a few hours later, Sistron posted a picture of his dog and his girlfriend's foot. And that's how Instagram was born. In October 2020, Instagram officially released the app on the App Store for Apple. And in 2012, Facebook acquired Instagram for $1 billion in cash and stock US. In April 2020, Instagram released a version of the app for Android phones. So Instagram TV is huge at the moment. They announced that they would be, oh, sorry, that's the wrong thing. In October the 1st, 2018, they gave the reins over to a guy called Adam Mosseri, who became the head of Instagram. The like counts became only visible to the users who originally posted the content, because they were extremely worried that people were focusing on how many likes they were getting instead of the content that they were posting. It's been argued that low numbers of likes in relative to others could contribute to low self-esteem. That was their whole thinking about that one. Now, Chantel talked about the personal accounts over the business accounts on Facebook, and so we have the same kind of thing on Instagram. You can have a personal account, but you're very limited to what you can do. So if you have a personal account and you're using it for business, I suggest that you do switch it over to a business account, because you have so much more flexibility and you can be so much, your creativity can flow a whole lot more using a business account. You get insights about your stories, your posts and your followers. You get real-time metrics on how your stories and posts are performing. You can get insights into your followers and how they interact with you, and you can add information about your company, such as your business hours, your location, and your phone numbers. It's really, really important that you have a good bio. Remember that you're only allowed to have one link in your bio. But you can also use your hashtags as well, and I'll get to that a little bit later if I have time. Once you've made the switch from your personal to your business profile, you can include your call to action buttons, which visitors and followers can tap to make contact or do business with you. You can earn a verification badge from Instagram that certifies your authenticity, and there's a process that you go to gain that verification badge. You can, as I said before, you can access your real-time data that you need to understand how well your organic, not your paid reach is going. And I'm a bit like Chantel, I like to help people get the organic going rather than having to shell out more money for advertising. If you want to launch, you can launch and track your ad campaigns, and it's all in that real time. You'll be able to see the impact you're making and double down on what's working best for you to drive your engagement, your traffic, and your sales. So give your bio the attention that it deserves. If you want your profile to appeal to users, you need to stand out from the crowd. You've only got 150 characters, and you can have a photo or a logo. You need to capture the essence of your brand or your business, who you are, what you offer, and why you're different. And you can use your bio to promote your contests, your deals, and your product launches. We also have to remember that we can't just post the same thing over and over and over again, because people will get bored and they will go away and they will find someone else. So you can't let your creative get stale. So experiment with your post types, your media options, your editing tools, and if I've got time, I'll go through that. Try different content angles, survey your followers, ask them to submit questions or get feedback on your posts. Do some behind the scenes shots, demo your products, walk users through a step-by-step tutorial. That's always very engaging. As Chantel said with Facebook, experiment with your colors and your visuals. Use filters to give your photos a different look from everyone else's. Play with video enhancements. There's a create interface in the stories camera now, which you can put stickers on. There's templates, there's GIFs. There's all sorts of amazing stuff with Instagram. And try and make each post eye-catching and uniquely belonging to you, not the same as every other Tom, Dick and Harry. Instagram TV is awesome. People are watching videos all the time. So when you upload to Instagram TV, the first 15 seconds of your video is available for people to see in your news feed. For longer videos, you can post a 60-second preview in your feed, along with an invite to watch for your viewers to watch the whole video. If your video is part of a series, your viewers can tap on the series to watch, and they can watch all the episodes in your series. So many options. Instagram stories is huge. It can feature videos or short video loops that you can view at the top of the app for 24 hours, very similar to Facebook. And once the 24 hours is gone, ticked over, then they go away. You can have links in your stories, text, or sometimes the GIFs. There's also a new stories layout feature. So you have 5 new layout options with your stories. There are great story apps for on the app stores for Android and iOS, apps everywhere for Instagram. So stories is a really powerful engagement tool. You can drive traffic to a new Instagram post or a new product. Use the Ask Me Anything feature to invite questions and share your responses. You can conduct polls to create a buzz about new products and or what you're developing on your brand. You can also include story highlights. They never expire, so you can put your high engaging stories into highlights, so they will sit there all the time until you decide to take them away. Setting goals is huge. With every strategy, with every platform, you need to set goals. So consider your short and your long-term goal value. Your Instagram posts and campaigns should be designed to appeal to your target audience based on their demographics and interests, using the SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Determine how you're going to measure those. What are your goals in your business? Hootsuite does an annual survey of 3,000 or more marketers and found that 44% indicated that driving conversions is the #1 aim of their social media efforts. And I believe that while this is extremely important, and it's a goal that everyone should have, I believe that you also need to focus on building your brand equity and delighting your existing customers, which could deliver a longer term gain for you. Planning social media, like Chantel said, shouldn't be spending all your time doing this. So if you've got to create a content calendar, be spontaneous. You can be spontaneous and post on the fly when there is an opportunity, but steady progress requires you to be disciplined. So using a content calendar to organize, post and schedule them in advance. You can now schedule to Instagram via Facebook Creator Studio if that's the way you want to go, or you can, there's plenty of apps like Later out there that you can use to schedule. I think you can get it for free for 30 posts a month, and then you have to pay for it, and they have extra features that you can play around within there too. So you can identify themes, seasonal themes, reflect current events, trends, play with your target audience's lifestyles and values, because you will know these because you've already done the research. Choose things that are in line with your brand voice and your value and your products. Choose the right formats. Not everything should go into a story. So you've got the options of stories, you've got photo carousels, you've got video series. And then if any of those posts are doing really well, then if you want to boost them, then you can send them to paid advertising. Don't wait to write the captions. You should always be ready to post. Even if your posting schedule gets a little bit thrown out of whack, it's okay. You can deal with that and then get back on track. Pay attention to your time, and your audience isn't on Facebook at the same time as everyone else's. So make sure that you get an understanding of when they're there. Posting at 1 o'clock in the morning when everyone's on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon isn't going to get you any engagement, isn't going to get your post seen at all.
So when should people be posting? When are the hot times, Deb? I'm looking for tips now.
Yeah, okay. So normally first thing in the morning, when most people lay in bed, and the first thing they do is check their social media accounts.
So what's first thing in the morning for you? Because first thing in the morning for me is like 4.
Yeah, well, whatever time you wake up, and this is just general. So once you get an idea of who your audience are and when they're there, that's when you sort of start to get an idea of when they're awake. Lunchtime, and usually you're probably on the way. They look, say, like when they're getting public transport home from work, although maybe not so much now. And as Chantal said, people are on there more and more at the moment because we're all locked in at home. So
Yeah, right. Nice,
so,
nice.
yeah. So you pay attention to your timing. Some third-party apps that you can use for scheduling to Instagram actually do give you the option for them to decide when's the best time to post. So that's always an option that you can try to see if they've got it right. If not, then you just take it over and post when you know they're going to be there. Establish workflows. So carve out a dedicated block of time where you can work on your daily post quantity and whatever fits your business, or if you're handing it to someone else, give them in your business, give them a set block of time so they don't, because you can waste so much time on social media, as we all know.
So how long do you recommend for a business to carve out? Like if we're doing, you've got a small business and you're going to carve out this block of time, what do you reckon would be a reasonable amount of time?
I would say to schedule all your, the content, creating the content is going to be the type of thing that takes the longest time. So once you've got a handle on that, I'd probably say if you've got it all in a calendar ready to go, then you just need to schedule it. So maybe an hour a week if you get really good at it. That shouldn't take you any more than that.
Oh, awesome.
Between creating the content, writing the captions, and scheduling it. The other thing that's really good is on Instagram is hashtags and Geo Tags. So we can search for content using hashtags, and people are also following hashtags, so that when a hashtag they followed comes up, then they see all the content aligned with that hashtag. Use relevant hashtags in your bio and in your post captions, because you're being exposed to a lot of potential new followers to your business and your products. If you're a bricks and mortars business, try reaching users in your local area. There's an option to put your location in now when you're posting to Instagram. So using those geo tags so people can see where you are can help you build those mutual local connections. Always use the insights to track your engagement and conversions. There's no point in doing this if it's not working. The insights page you can access through your profile offers a detailed view of how your content is performing. Insights for stories are available for up to 14 days after your stories appear. So you've got to be quick to checking on that one. The content, this tab reveals your brand's most popular posts, measured by impressions, and you can also see metrics for individual posts. Activity, you will find profile visits, website clicks, all that kind of information. Audience, that tab offers you data about your followers. You'll find out their age, their gender, their location, and when they're most active on Instagram, and how fast your brand community is growing. And like I mentioned before, if you've got a post that's gone gangbusters, it might be worth turning that into paid advertising posts so that you get more exposure.
Is that a complicated process?
It can be a little bit. But having said that, if you know who your target market is, if you have an idea of what their interests and things like that are, then it shouldn't be too difficult for you. And like any advertising campaigns, it's split testing and, keeping an eye on it daily, hourly, to make sure that you're not going to be throwing your money down the toilet.
Stacey's asked, once you write your content, Deb, what was it that you said you have to do after that? You were talking about scheduling once you've written your content.
Okay, yeah. So if you're on Facebook, then you've got a business page on Facebook, then you've got access to the Creator Studio where you can schedule your posts at the specific time and day that you want it to go out using the Creator Studio. So there's a tab there for Facebook and a tab there for Instagram. So you can do it that way, or you can use a third-party app like Later or Buffer or Hootsuite. Just be in mind that some of them, the third-party apps, don't auto-post. You still have to download an app on your mobile phone. They'll send you a reminder, and then you have to push it to Instagram. So if you're going to look for a third-party app to save you time, other than Facebook, you need to look for one that actually says that it auto-posts, which means that Instagram has given it permission to use an API.
Nice. Do you have an example of that?
An example of
The app that you were talking about.
okay, if you look on if you can go onto the internet and search for Later, Later, you can have a look at that app there. I think for the 30 posts it's free for one profile, and yeah, so most of you would only have one Instagram profile, a business profile, so I would have a look at Later. Yeah,
Later.
I've used
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's
All right,
really
I'm going to
good
wrap
one.
you up there, Deb, because we've
Okay,
got to
cool.
move back to Carolyn.
Yep.
I'll throw back to Carolyn. Carolyn, are you there? While
I am
Carolyn's
free.
coming back,
Hello.
we did have a question that come in, which Chantel has answered. How can we filter out scammers? Chantel has typed in, just understand your privacy settings, become a good stalker, and know how to block, report, and unfollow, and never click on a link that feels wrong. Couldn't say that better myself. Thank you, Chantel. Chantel's also put into the chat links to her page where there's information on the algorithms. But if we get a chance, I'm going to come back to Chantel because there's a couple of questions floating around that I just want to answer. But for now, over to you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Stu. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to try and keep this nice and quick and just go through a really quick run through about LinkedIn. Firstly, why should we have LinkedIn? As business owners, LinkedIn is our space. It's all about business to business communication, and it's like a really amazing virtual networking group. I think one of the things I love about LinkedIn is that it is not owned by the Facebook Zuckerberg group, so it is independent from that, and so you get different ways that the algorithm works, and you get lots of different options in the LinkedIn space. There is so much to cover in LinkedIn, but today I just wanted to quickly go through how to set up your LinkedIn profile for success. So just bear with me while I share my screen and we'll start going through that.
All right, while you're setting that up,
thank you.
There is another question that we're going to answer in a little bit, and I know that Chantel is in there seeing the question. So the distinguishing between the genuine Facebook user and the fakes, what are the giveaway signs to spot them quickly from David? Chantel, I will throw back to you for that one because I have had a couple of people ask me that one as well. So well, we will answer that one live in a little bit, but now on with LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Are you guys able to see my screen? Is that working, or am I going to have to just...
No, that's perfect.
Oh, it was great. Okay, fantastic. So this is 8 steps to how to create an amazing LinkedIn profile. So our first one is got to make sure you have a great professional headshot. So you got to think, if you're going into a business meeting, how would you dress? How would you appear to the people that you're going to be meeting? So this means that your headshot should be in color. It should be professional. Like, we love our family photos and our selfies and our photos with our pets, but LinkedIn's not the place for it. You need to have a nice professional headshot, and your dress code has to match your profession. So look, if you're a cleaner and you're on LinkedIn, there's nothing wrong with your headshot being in your work polo with your logo on it, but make sure that your image matches the languaging that you're using in your LinkedIn to promote yourself. Okay, our second one is master the right keywords. So keywords are the same as search words on Google. These are the words that help other people find you. So profiles rank the highest, have the highest density of keywords. So keywords have to match your current or your desired profession and be sprinkled throughout your profile. So if you're looking for, let's say, an executive management job, you would be using the word management sprinkled throughout your profile, executive management, corporate management. So you can even do something like a keyword search on executive management and find all the associated keywords and find ways just to drop them into your profile as you're writing it. Okay, so number 3, spend extra time on your headline. So this is the first message to the world about who you are and what you do. So take time. You've got 120 characters. You've got to make it broader than your last job or your current job. It's got to encapsulate who you are and why people should be connecting with you. Make really good use of it. It's the business card. It's the first image that you present to the world, in the world of LinkedIn, that is, of course. Okay, number 4, your summary is your pitch. Pardon me. So you need to introduce yourself and grab people's attention and then draw them in to keep reading your profile. So you want them to go, oh, hey, this is an interesting person. I want to find out more. It's your opportunity to build relationship and connect with people. You can show what you stand for and your qualities as a business person. Make it personal and don't forget to use those keywords. Again, that's going to help your ranking. When people go into search executive manager, the more keywords you have, the higher you're going to rank. Okay, so number 5, and Chantel touched on this in her Facebook segment too, about really using your call to action. So it's all about, like Chantel said, pulling people out of the social space into your business space. So getting that call to action, getting them contacting you, making it easy for people to contact you, whether it's via phone or via email. Okay, so at the end of your summary, invite people to connect with you and explain to them what you're looking for so they're on the same page. If you're not actually looking for a job and you're just looking to network, tell people that. But if you are looking for a new job or you're looking for a career change, tell that too. Be really clear so there's no miscommunication. Okay. Now, I just touched on this a bit, but make sure you include your contact details. So it's often can be a small thing when setting up our profile, and also checking regularly, like scheduling your calendar every 6 months to do a quick check on all your social profiles to make sure your contact details are up to date. Often we change our phone number or our email and we forget to update them in the important places. So it can be frustrating for people who are trying to get in contact with us. So just putting that little reminder in to always make sure contact details are current could actually mean the difference between a sale or no sale. Now, number 7, this is one of my favorites because I work in the visual media field, but add visual media to your profile. You can add posts to your LinkedIn, you can publish articles, and keep it engaging. You know, use a mix of photos, videos, even PowerPoint presentations. So for example, Chantel, Deb and I, we can go put these presentations that we've done on our LinkedIn page, and people will then have a greater idea about what we do and the value that we bring to the table. And it makes it more appealing for somebody who's going through your profile and having a look. And it just helps them get to know you a little bit better. Okay, number 8 and the last one is connect, connect, connect. I cannot stress this any more than make sure you're connecting. Your first grade connections give you direct access to your second grade connections, and then so on and so forth. And the more connections you have, the more often and higher in ranking you're going to appear in search results. So take the time, don't be scared. But in saying that, don't spam either. When you are connecting, make sure there's a reason why you're connecting, even if it's just you're in the same field. There could be a potential referee or referral. They could be a potential client, or they could be somebody that shares a similar customer database with you, but it's in a different industry. But there could be potential for you guys to work together. Now, finally, tips for successful LinkedIn communication. So keep your language professional. If you wouldn't do it in a business meeting, don't do it on LinkedIn. It's as simple as that. And I know Chantel spoke about being professional on Facebook. Facebook has a little bit more leeway with languaging because it's more of a personal, I mean, we do use it for business, and as Chantel explained, but it is largely used by people who have their own profiles, and it's a lot more social. And so the languaging can be a little bit more casual or not as structured, but LinkedIn, it's a business platform. So keep your languaging professional. Don't cold call through the inbox, build relationship, and don't spam through the inbox either, because that is the quickest way for people to never look at your profile and not want to connect with you. It's fine to just inbox someone and say, hey, thank you so much for connecting. I hope you have an amazing day. And communication like that, you're going to get better results than if you just go nuts and just spam everyone. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there because I know we are running out of time. I'm just going to jump back into Zoom. Okay, there we go, and we're back. So awesome. I just want to give a really big thank you to Chantel and Deb for doing amazing presentations today, and for everyone for watching. And I know we've got a few questions, so I'm going to hand back to Stu now and we'll work our way through those questions.
All right. I'm going to throw to Chantel for the question around the genuine Facebook users versus fakes, because I have had that one before. So Chantel, over to you.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone saw it was on Current Affair last night or the night before, where a gentleman who was in his 70s had Olivia Newton-John connected with him and then said if you wanted to have dinner and a date, then you'd have to pay like $3,000 to be able to pay for the restaurant and pay the manager and everything. So he actually transferred the money across and then never got his date with Olivia Newton-John. And this was through Facebook. So my lesson is that
I'm shocked. I am shocked. Literally shocked. Really? Not.
He in fact actually paid more money. So in total, he spent $11,000. And it was a Nigerian guy who'd set up a Facebook profile of Olivia Newton-John. And when you actually went into his profile and clicked through the Olivia Newton-John photos, actually one of his photos was this dark Nigerian fellow there. And you could actually see that it was his profile. So my tip is to go into the profile, test your guts, but scroll through their photos and see whether or not are there any current photos, like has the person aged or are they all just the same photos? Is it just being copy pasted from another platform? One of the other things you can do as well is turn on your face recognition inside your settings on your personal profile. So in personal profile, go to settings, go to face recognition, turn it on. A lot of people go, I don't want Facebook knowing my face. But actually what that face recognition does is that if somebody's stealing your pictures and putting them out on Facebook, Facebook will actually notify you and say, is this you? This person's using those photos. And in fact, when I post pictures of my kids, it always says, is this you? So I do recommend that you turn that on. But just remember that the 3 dots on Facebook are absolutely amazing and no one ever touches them. But when you touch those 3 dots, it opens up a world of opportunity like blocking, reporting, unfollowing. Those 3 dots are really amazing. So become very familiar with the 3 dots on Facebook.
And where are the 3 dots located on Facebook?
So when you are actually posting and you have a post and you'll see like who you're posting to, it's at the top sort of right-hand corner of those posts. In saying that, it's also along the tab bar. So you'll notice it on your page where it's got all your, if you're on a desktop, all your tabs, like it'll say inbox, publishing tools, more, there's 3 dots. And it's the same on your personal profile where it'll say timeline, friends, and then there'll be 3 dots. So no one ever touches those 3 dots. Your job today is go find those 3 dots and touch them because they open up a world of opportunity.
And this is a safe touch. It's okay. You can do this. It's socially isolated. You're still it's okay to touch. You don't have to do it with your elbow or anything. All right. We're going to wrap up there. Thank you very much, ladies, for all the information. I feel like we probably needed a little bit longer to go through all the stuff because there is just so much. So I actually have a request to actually come back and do this one again. So we will get you back at some point and we'll have a deeper dive into Facegram, Instabook, and all those other cool things, LinkedIn, of course. So next week we have social isolation with Jackie Thompson. It's the next chapter in the book. There we go. Share that one up there. So we do have that one up next. And I think actually Jackie's on the line. Jackie, are you there? No, Jackie might not be there. Oh, she is there. Hi, Jackie. Wasn't that awesome?
It was
amazing. I was furiously writing notes, but I don't think I got even half of what was being said. So we're definitely going to have to get notes. Certainly, Deb, do you have some notes that you can share with us? She's nodding. That'll do. That'll do. Okay, Jackie. In 30 seconds or less, what are we talking about next week?
Well, a very on-trend topic at the minute, isolation in business, so what can we do so we don't feel so isolated? And obviously the last 3 months, we've probably all gone through that. So we're going to talk about the importance of not feeling isolated, joining support groups, business groups, the chambers and how that can work, how to create a business plan, and basically just using different ways of connecting. And often when people choose to take a different role from what they've already been working and they choose to go out in their own business, isolation is a major thing, because normally when you've left work, you've got your colleagues' support and that type of thing. So basically, we need to really think about making sure that we still stay connected.
All right, so that's next week in 30 seconds or less. We have now, don't forget, if you haven't been connected with any of our committee members, please jump on. These are the committee members there. And it is important to join the Chamber Facebook group. So if you get a chance, if you haven't connected with one of us, just put into the chat that you'd like to connect. We'll connect with you. Join us on Facebook and join our Facebook group, because that's where all the information is. Of course, we thank our sponsors. We have a number of awesome sponsors, and they, without them, we couldn't do what we do. So we thank them for continuing to sponsor us. There they all are there. But for now, what I will do, I will wrap up, and I'll just quickly throw around our panelists one last time. What would be your top tip, Carolyn, for LinkedIn? I'll go backwards this time. Carolyn, what would be your one top tip for LinkedIn?
Take 10 minutes out of your day today to just review your profile and make sure it's going to be working for you.
Well, it's on my list of things to do. Deb, we're over to you.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, then I would suggest that you go and take a look at your bio. Make sure that it tells your story in 150 characters. Make sure you've got your hashtags and your whatever link you want to a promo, website, whatever you need. Just make sure that it's talking about you and what you're doing. A
profile review for LinkedIn, the bio in Instagram, and Chantal?
With Mark Zuckerberg at the moment going absolutely crazy with putting in new things every single day, for example, Messenger Kids, whatever they launch, make sure you just stop, slow down for a sec and read everything so that you fully 100% understand. So for example, with Messenger Kids, if I didn't read it properly, basically anybody on Facebook could have befriended my children in this message without them even having a Facebook profile. So you have to read every single part of it and make sure you understand it and tick the right boxes before you do any of these things. Like before you do anything, make sure you understand it.
Nice. All right, I'm going to leave it there. We've had a fabulous morning this morning with lots and lots of information. We will share that information out with you. Next week we have Jackie Thompson talking about business in isolation. But for now, have a fabulous day. Go out and check your LinkedIn profile, check your Instagram bio, and read all the stuff. Now, you're not going to believe this, but I actually have a date with Mark Zuckerberg. I've paid the money, and I'm looking forward to my date with Mark Zuckerberg. So I'm off to do that. Everybody else have a fabulous day, and stay safe, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.